Commencing countdown. T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Saber Dice. My name is Cody with Taking 29. Some beautiful, incredible, wonderful, sexy, frozen in place people here with us this evening. We, of course, have the one and only guy, SCLANDERS, from How to Be a Great GM. We also have Jacob BUDZ from XP to Level 3. He showed up tonight. Good for him.
I was indeed homeschooled.
We have Michael Hunt, a.k.a. Unmade Gaming. The one and only Lauren B, a.k.a. the Genja Ninja. And joining us in frozen form from England in a castle somewhere, I guess.
David, being quiet, buddy. Come on.
Is David. David, how are you this evening? Eloquently said, my man.
Water.
Blar.
If you guys cannot tell, David FRIANT is in England, and so we decided to poke a little fun, as we do here. Here with a few words for our sponsor is the one and only, Guy SCLANDERS.
Okay, great stuff. So we have sponsors. They sponsor the show. That means that they give us money for running the show. And so that's why they're called sponsors. Okay, thanks. Back to you, Cody.
God, no.
No, I'm happy to talk about our sponsors tonight. We've got Fantasy Grounds, upon which we will be playing this amazing game. Fantasy Grounds providing us with all of the insight and information we possibly want about Starfinder and all of the stuff that goes into that character creation, dice rolls, all that kind of cool stuff, as well as Dungeon Painter Studio. If you want to paint your dungeon in a studio, no, wait, if your studio is in a dungeon, no, wait, no. You know what? Just combine the program and you can paint a dungeon in a studio or a studio in a dungeon, or hell, you could just make any map you like. That's how powerful the program is. Dungeon Painter Studio. On Steam, both of them. Go get them. It's what we use. We love them. We love you. Okay, now it's back to you, Cody.
Also, we want to say thank you to all the amazing patrons, and we hope you guys have been enjoying the last couple of weeks of the new Jade Colossus, which is an extension of the Carol Stones universe and the Saber Dice universe. So if you guys want to support the show, it's $3 a month. You get the podcast, or $5 a month. You get all of the videos every single Monday. Rain, shine, Christmas, New Year's, doesn't matter. We put out a brand new hour of hilarious D&D, and we get to say naughty words. Lots of them for some of us.
Like butt.
Like butt. We say...
We do say butt.
We say butt a lot.
It's just my last name.
We also say the.
We say the a lot, true. Probably not as dirty as butt. But yes.
Depends on where you're sticking, Cody.
Oh.
Depends whose butt.
What?
So we love all you amazing patrons. Support the show. Check out the After Dark show. So I hope everybody enjoyed their week off. Dave is taking an extra week because he's lazy. So let's jump back into some Starfinder.
If this show only used replacement words like it was TBS, we only had to say like, "But you're a fruit basket." Like that would be hysterical. We need to do time.
Maybe we could do that at Gen Con.
Perfect.
Because
I wasn't listening, but whatever it is, no.
We might have to be a little bit more PC at Gen Con. I don't know. All right, so...
I'm not going then.
Let's jump back into Oasis. Cast your minds back. I'm sorry, Guy. I love you. To the previous events. Not in the Jade Colossus, but here in the jungles of Greth. Hidden away under cloaks of mist and some form of mechanical design and defense to dissuade the locals and any potential intruders from discovering the truth, the group has made their way through this temple hidden away. They started their journey into the temple with an additional companion, Rashul, the loving local Greth little fox lady who took quite swimmingly to both Domino and Asander. There were many puzzles to kind of throw the group off, but probably the most important was when the group found themselves encapsulated in their own dreams and fantasies about their most deepest, darkest desires, sometimes not darkest. The things that they wanted the most in life, their life goals and achievements set away in a bliss. Fortunately for the group, this system designed to entice and encapsulate, potentially permanently, any people wandering into this temple had a different effect on Luna. It had some glitches, and it revealed to her that the final room, so to speak, was a completely false room. So that even when and if she was able to escape, it showed her deepest, darkest desires, or did it? Just glitched out on her. The group managed to survive a nasty, brutal combat with some local drones that were probably more attendees than actual temple defenses. And Luna almost got Asander killed by locking him in with an enormous EMP that went off. But pressing forward into that final room, Luna remembered her visions and discovered the last true room, or past this false wall. What the gang discovered past this false wall was unexpected. They saw 3 actual Terathum spheres. Each individually would make them rich beyond their wildest dreams. One of them was completely depleted. Another one was glowing to what appeared to be full capacity, and yet a third one seemed to be causing some sort of reaction with a friend, Brashul. And as it encapsulated her in energy, the group stared at her as she went through a set of changes, physically. Her form changed and shifted and morphed into different species before finally stopping on a squid-like creature, one that was very reminiscent of the stones set affront to the temple's entrance. Screaming into their ears, that is where we will pick up. Asander, Luna, Domino, Jet, Snikt, you find yourselves staring at this squid-like creature in the place where Brashul stood just moments ago.
What does the scream sound like?
Lots of different voices.
Oh.
I'm not playing for your soundboard, sir.
Come on. No bingo tile tonight.
No.
It's trapped in something?
No,
right?
it is just been enveloped in this energy, screaming out and transforming and morphing. And finally the energy from the Terathum sphere in the middle goes out. And still smoking and smoldering on a platform across from you in this enormous room, next to these 3, now with 2 of them unlit, Terathum spheres, you see this squid-like creature hovering a few feet, and its tentacles wrapping around its head and upper torso.
I've seen this file. That thing is from the future.
What?
Do you mean?
There was a data file from 1994, I think. I believe that thing is from the future.
Okay, is it gonna kill us?
Yes.
Is it still Brashul?
Is your name Sarah Connor?
What?
What?
She slumps to the
Cody,
floor.
Quick question. Thinking back now on all of our interactions with this little creature,
Be nice.
does her performance ever seem disingenuous in terms of her memory loss? Why I'm asking this is because Calbray is looking at this going, has she just been transmogrified by the ship to becoming one of the aliens, or does it feel more like she was an alien as an undercover operative to Calbray? So he's thinking back on her performances where she was claiming...
Here's what you
visions
remember
and stuff.
is you remember that she was a very distinctive color. And
Yeah,
that several of she was a very distinctive color, with kind of this milky beige color, where all the rest of the Grethians were blue.
Right.
In addition, you never actually did any medical tests on Brashul.
Correct. That's why I'm saying, in terms of her performance, did she feel like when she was saying, I don't remember, and all that kind of stuff?
You tell me. Did Descender trust her?
Well, no, because she's a strange furry little creature. I think, Captain, that she is an undercover operative for these individuals, and they are doing something quite nefarious here on this planet.
Yeah, I didn't trust her either. Hey, can you make sure she's all right? She just fell over.
I would rather that Domino or Luna eviscerated them and turned them into a little blob of goo.
I got it.
As soon as Asandor says eviscerate, she pulls out her rifle and readies it.
Is it dead?
This creature is slumped on the floor, smoldering.
This is the creature that we saw die, though.
This is not a creature that you've seen die. You've just walked in and seen it basically enveloped in this strange energy coming directly from a Terathum orb.
Yeah. Like.
And Terathum orbs are supposed to be a source of power, not a
Nobody's actually seen a Terathum sphere.
Right.
It's rumored. It's
sure.
Several of the rumors are that it is the equivalent of like a portable nuclear reactor that could have, who knows? Yeah, who knows how much power it could generate? Is it the same as a sun? Could it power multiple planets for generations?
I don't go next to it. Couldn't that have been a discharge from the Terathum sphere itself, and the discharge simply caused the creature's morphology to revert back to its original form? In which case, perhaps those spheres are unstable as a result, perhaps, of our interactions, or not, simply could be age. Perhaps we should keep our distance, Captain.
I don't know.
Or figure out a way to shut those things down, or at least...
You think the Terathum spheres are dangerous?
Well, aren't they supposed to generate power, Luna? I mean, you know more about this than we do.
Of course, it's supposed to be dangerous. I mean, just look at it. Look what it did. Look what it did to her.
A Snicked chimes in.
I think we need to destroy them then.
But what about Brashul?
I think Brashul's dead.
I don't think there ever was a Brashul. I think it was always that squid thing from the beginning. I'm
going to check.
Domino, if you get discharged by that sphere, you're unlikely to survive.
Let me paint you guys a little bit of a better description of what you guys see in this room. As you guys came through the double locked doors, and through this, if you'll remember, this like kind of white hallway that Luna had discovered leading into this area, you come into a vast room. It is, it looks kind of like the size of like a big warehouse ceiling-wise, and you guys are kind of on a platform with stairs leading down, leading up on another set of stairs, and kind of this additional platform is where you see these three spheres. A bit of computer parts in front of it, probably a console or module, and then that's where there's a bit of space there, and that's actually where you've seen that happen. The rest of the room appears mostly empty. There's some crates and what looks like pretty generic supplies. You can tell from the writing on several of these metallic crates that kind of remind you, for those of you, for Snicked and Domino specifically, and Luna actually as well, I think she tried to do some hacking, it reminds you of that same computer language that you guys have seen throughout this entire temple. Behind the three of these spheres, it kind of has these enormous columns that are lit up with this big green light, and there's some additional space kind of around those columns that you could walk around, and there's additional modules and consoles and computers behind that, possibly even another area.
I think Luna, with her rifle out, Domino, you should certainly go check the consoles. We should not touch it until we know. I'll cover you. And she pulls her rifle up and just kind of steps behind him.
Fine. And he walks over, like glancing at Brashul the whole time, and he walks over to the council, like the consuls.
He's gonna die over there.
I hope not.
To see what happens.
Mike, as you get close, Domino can begin to hear internally a voice. But it sounds like a buzz at first because it's like screaming. And then as you kind of get close, within probably 20, 30 feet, it's clearly screaming in your head. The same screaming that sounded like it came from that squid-like creature whenever Brashul was morphing and transforming and changing shape into all these different species.
Captain, perhaps we should attempt to enable that creature before Domino begins interfacing. If it were to wake up right now, he'd be completely vulnerable to it, wouldn't he?
Yeah, everybody get a gun on that thing in case it comes back to life.
Is the screaming just annoying?
The screaming sounds like somebody's being tortured. Like, I mean, I don't want to blow out your ears here with the microphone, but it is like bloody murder scream. High-pitched and in a slightly effeminate voice.
And it sounds like the same noise that the thing was making.
Yeah, it sounds just like it. What you heard before. And as every step you take closer towards it, towards the console and where it's slumped on the ground, you can hear it louder and louder and louder and louder and louder in your head, just screaming.
Domino turns back, having no actual ears to cover, and just shouts because it's loud in his head. I think it's in pain.
What do you mean? Why are you yelling?
Because it's yelling.
I don't
From
hear
where?
anything.
From in my head.
What?
What?
Can you make it stop?
No.
Well, then what the fuck do we do?
I'm not the captain.
Is it in your actual head, Domino? It's not. You're definitely sure it's not. I mean, we can't hear anything, can we, Cody?
No, you cannot.
You see Domino like lean over and his hood sort of slumps over, and you hear like clicks and clacks as he removes a panel. No. It's not actually in my head.
I don't know why everybody keeps forgetting that we have comms.
Snick, do you think he's been hacked?
Maybe it was part of that search.
Or when he was reading the machine was reading him. If we can't hear screaming and he can.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you almost, didn't make it.
It gets louder the closer I get.
To what? To where?
And he points to the giant alien.
It's about, it's a big creature. It's still a medium-sized creature,
This is
right?
the thing that died, right?
This is the thing. This is Brashul. And you gotta remember, Brashul was short. She was tiny. I mean, she was relatively tiny. This
Transformed into
creature
a bigger
is quite a bit larger. I would say, still a medium creature mechanically, but it's probably from head to tentacles is probably maybe 9 feet, 8.5 feet, something like that.
Doctor, can
And
you
it
try to
floated
heal?
off the ground to give it a
Maybe
bigger
it's-
appearance.
Maybe it's still alive.
Luna gives Domino a nudge towards the console. Keep going. It'll get quieter.
Do you come up to Domino?
Yeah, are you
She was
following me?
following you with the weapon the whole time, remember?
You're hearing the screaming as well, then, Luna. The closer you got as well, you're hearing it.
She doesn't say anything, though. She just nudges him.
It's very reminiscent of how Beetle speaks when he chooses to speak psychically. Except it's somebody screaming at you. Like they're in pain. Like they are literally on fire.
I'll do my best, I suppose. I go over to the body with my giant arc pistol.
It is breathing as you
As-
approach.
As soon as he starts to walk over to it, Domino continues towards the console.
Sure, you continue towards the console. And Sander, if you want to be next to the body, you certainly can.
I do, certainly.
It's breathing. It's alive.
For now.
And you can see as you get really close, it
What'd
kind
you
of
get?
has that transparent squid-like quality to its skin. It still has a beige tint to it. It doesn't have a gray tint. It's more of a beige tint. Very reminiscent of Brushul's fur color. But it's a lot more see-through and not really slimy, but certainly has translucent qualities to give it that appearance as you would expect. You can even see, veins and bits of muscle and sinew through the outer layer of its skin. On the front of its face is clearly a head, eyes, a mouth. Its torso is very tiny and compact, kind of segmented like an ant's middle torso. Its thorax or whatever. No, I guess that's not its thorax. I think thorax is its tail. I don't know what the ant's middle segment is, but kind of like that. And it has these two big bulbous eyes that are much larger than you would probably feel comfortable with. A lot of species, they, you know how aliens and different species and plants or not plants, but animals and indigenous creatures look. These eyes are massive percentage-wise to its head.
Cody, I'm following behind him. Is this look like a Lashunta?
No.
Okay.
It does not look like a Lashunta.
I didn't want to know if it looked like reminiscent, like it had merged together and created like one creature.
No, it doesn't. That's a great question, but it doesn't look like a Lashunta. And it doesn't have any sort of antennae either. It just has this same squid-like structure.
The large eyes, Captain, indicate that it's used to operating in very low light conditions.
Right.
Is it dying? Can I make a check to see if it's... I'm going to give it a standard medical examination check.
How do you want to give it a standard medical check? Are you going to scan it from 5 feet away? Are you going to touch it? Are you going to try to get its pulse? It is clearly breathing.
You should probably touch it.
It is breathing. I would touch it, I suspect, at this point, considering that we're not sure what technology is here or there. And I think it may have had some kind of holographic projection, because if they were using, Captain, if they were transmogrifying themselves, if they were changing their shape, why not change their color? Why have the obvious color flaw? So I'm going to touch it. I'm going to prod it and poke it.
Yeah, sure. I will let you do that. As you do that, Jet, you had something you wanted to add?
Yeah, do we hear the screaming?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
as you get closer, and Sander, I want to be clear here. As you get within 5 feet and close enough to touch it, it's unbearably, it's very uncomfortable. Let me just put, it's like a screaming child standing 2 feet from you.
Well, that's unnecessary.
I told you.
If it's screaming, then try to heal it or something. I don't know what it wants.
As you go to touch it, you begin to kind of examine it a little bit. I will let you make your roll, but during your examination, to kind of see if it's dying, its eyes go, and they are staring right at you as you are like touching it to examine and feel its breathing and heartbeat, etc.
Luna has her gun on it.
The screaming has stopped. And it didn't tail off. It just stopped. Like, you pause.
Interesting.
The eyes still open?
19 on my medicine check. Is it dying?
Here's what you didn't have enough time to really examine this thing. But as far as you can tell, it's breathing and its pulse felt steady. It was interesting because you could feel like 4 different individual thumps of a heart, giving the impression it may have had 2 of them, or maybe it had multiple chambers inside of its heart. And inside your head, you can hear, "That won't be necessary. I'm okay now."
Captain, it's speaking to me. Do you want me to respond?
What did it say?
It's okay now.
All of you hear in your head, "May I please stand? I don't want to raise alarm."
Back up, please, stand. Don't try anything. We'll kill you.
It floats up.
Ooh.
And it hovers there.
Luna has her gun pointed at it.
It has all of its arms dangling.
Who are you?
My name is Ogno. You would know me previously as Brashul. I am the last remaining sec.
You were transformed, or is this where you always were?
Do not be alarmed, although I can clearly see that that would most likely be disturbing to watch. And she raises one tentacle up and kind of points over to the now middle Terathum sphere. That was a store from my memories, my life. It was incomplete, but what you saw was a transference. It is a painful process, but I assure you I'm fine.
Who trapped you there? Did somebody build that to keep you in there?
I built this. And her tentacles kind of go up and point all around the temple. I built all of this.
You built Oasis.
I did not build Oasis.
So this isn't Oasis.
No.
Yes. All right, sorry.
So I don't understand. What are you exactly?
I am a sec.
What are sex?
Tentacled alien creatures.
We are an ancient race. Wiped and eradicated by war, and plague, and infighting over these. And she points her arm back over to the 3 Terathum spheres. As you can imagine, these are quite powerful devices.
Ogno, what happened to the woman who came through here previously? Her name was Lacy.
There was no woman previously.
How long have you been in there?
I have been on this planet for 4,637 years.
Wow. Were you aware of what was going on outside of your bubble? Your sphere?
Sadly, no.
She would have never seen Lacy then.
I built this planet. And once I discovered that I was, in fact, the last of the keepers, I decided to erase my memories. The loss was overwhelming, and I decided to live here as Brashul, the Haunted, among the Greth.
What loss?
All of my people.
What happened to them?
I told you. War, plague, infighting.
Here?
Everywhere. I can understand how this would be kind of confusing for you.
Where is your home planet?
We did not have a home planet. We were wanderers. And she kind of goes over to the console and begins, I mean, you can see the width of this console, and with her tentacles, she can work it unbelievably fast. And she begins pulling up holograms that project out into the middle of this huge space, this big warehouse of stores. And she is pulling up all kinds of systems, all kinds of solar systems and star systems, planets and places that, after the gap, you've never seen a collection of information like this.
Can you record these, Domino?
Yes.
So you preserved yourself here then? What were
Yes.
you waiting for? You just wanted
Peace,
peace.
happiness,
Did you find it?
family.
All these star
simplicity.
systems were under your control.
Most of them.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Domino reaches into his junk drawer and pulls out a metal piece, and then you hear that awful wrenching noise of metal scraping metal as he carves into it with his finger, and he draws the symbol of Oasis and says, what does this mean?
That is Oasis, as you would call it.
What do you call it?
What do you call it?
In our native tongue, it is called Relic.
What is it?
It is a store
Oh.
for the Terrathimorbs.
Oh.
Stores in like storage?
Yes. It is everything that you had hoped it would be. All of the rumors, I imagine to be correct.
It's supposed to be a place with a mythical amount of wealth.
I imagine the Terathim spheres would be quite valuable. They created this. And she points up. And she zooms in on the hologram. And this one created this. And she zooms in on the entire star system for Greth.
I don't suppose you'd tell us where this relic is.
I know one of the coordinates. And she begins to type. You can see the columns. The columns behind her lit up behind the Terathim spheres. They begin to descend down. They turn out, and they begin folding and folding and folding and folding and folding, and they spread around you to the middle of the room and create an additional platform. And then it like unfolds over. Tink, 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 tink. And you can see as the last column slides out right above you, it bends and drops down. And as it pulls back up off the floor, it has left a small box that seems to be floating there with more of this writing. It has one of these letters on each of its sides. That is what you are here for.
What the hell is that?
I'm giving you this because I want to go with you. I do not have a Terathim sphere to store my memories anymore, as this one, and she points over to the remaining one, must remain to continue to power the star system.
The sphere powers the entire solar system, but surely now that it's in existence, you don't need to continue feeding power into it.
I have spent many millennia here on Greth. It would be very kind of you to allow this to remain, to continue to supply this system with power when and if it needs it.
Do all terraform spheres, do they all power planets and solar systems and
Many of them.
lives? Oh, man.
Domino, is there a way to access their systems and see who last accessed this information?
Yes.
It was me.
Oh.
I have been here for 4,000 years.
Yes, but you
Before
said you
you-
were unaware. You were as that little Brashul creature. We know that a friend of ours came through here. She sent us coordinates to come here. She was seeking the same thing that we were, although...
She must have found this. Ding, 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 ding. She begins to type, and it it shifts these holograms, zooming out and twisting, and zooming out and twisting, and zooming out and twisting into known space. And then suddenly you can see 6 little lights light up on 6 different dots. This is across an entire galaxy here. These are spread very far and wide. There were 6 of us. We were tasked with looking for future planets and fellow species that we could share our wealth and rebuild our people. but this time the right way. Each of us were instructed to build temples as a point of worship. This, I am embarrassed to say, is a sort of promised land. A sort of backhanded gift of obedience. But I assure you, nothing enslavement. These were to be temples to find the promised land. What you call Oasis, what I call Relic. This, and she points over to the cube, is one of the coordinate points. There were 6 plus the Relic key. I do not believe that my remaining keepers, as we called ourselves, survived. And upon finding out that I was the last remaining of my species, I wiped my memory and became a Greth until you found the temple. I obviously did not choose it to be a point of worship. The creatures here that I had created were so earnest, so loving. They ate when they wanted to eat. They slept when they wanted to sleep. They made only what they needed to make. They did not desire. They had no ambition. There was no conquering or death or war. It was paradise.
They were everything that you were not. Yes, understandable. Captain, if these are the coordinates, then Lacy could have traveled to any one of the other 5. But these distances are massive.
How do we even get there? Also, there's no way Lacy got there already. If they're that far away, we've been taking this long.
If she has given you the direct coordinate for this place, at this location, she must have retrieved at least one of these other coordinates, one of these other points of worship. You can see the cube begin to rise and slide over your direction. She sets it down onto the console, and it takes the map, and it turns the map and begins to zoom in, and then stops. There are still thousands of star systems on the map that it has zoomed in so far. You will need all of the remaining coordinates to find Oasis.
Well, why don't we just go to each coordinate and hope for
Captain,
the best?
spread across the universe.
You have a way to help us get there faster with all of this power you have?
Travel still takes some time, but we believe there is a technology called a drift engine that we invented many millennia ago that might be suitable for such travel. Could expedite it.
Let's say I have a really cool ship, and let's say that how much of this can we put in the really cool ship?
How much do you wish to take?
Domino elbows snicked. How much do we wish to take?
As much as we can, obviously.
As much as we can.
I don't know what exactly you want with the walls here for the temple, but
Oh, no. I mean the technology inside your temple. How much can we put inside the really cool ship?
Why do we want to put her stuff in our ship?
Because our ship sucks.
Okay, so we're going to use her power systems to power our ship. That's our goal.
Yes.
That's just going to make it faster. We're just gonna put a bigger battery in it, and we're just gonna go. Nyum!
Well, with
Think
the
about not
how it
having
looks.
fuel.
I don't think he knows how ships work.
Do you have to use fuel, Captain?
Pretty sure we use fuel.
That is the fuel, Captain. And she points at the sphere.
It doesn't make us go any faster, though.
I would prefer this for me.
Are you pretty sure you don't know that you use fuel?
I'm not sure. Jet probably knows. I don't know if we use battery and Tesla took over, or if we use there's space gas that we use.
The space credit card.
Yeah.
Snicked every time I fill her up. Snicked.
Still, regardless, it still doesn't come over the problem of it's still. Sanders is right. This is going to take us a long time to do.
I would suggest you start by contacting this Lacy and seeing which of these coordinates she has discovered.
She won't get back to us, but we could try.
There's only 4 remaining if she has at least one of them. It's unlikely that she has more than that, although she has been gone for quite some time. Perhaps that explains why she's been so absent, Captain.
And of course, we will also need the Omni extractor.
The relic
What?
key?
Indeed. Otherwise, the coordinates are no use.
Yes, of course. Where would we find the key?
And she points over, she begins to type back in. It pulls up a system. Ascender, give me a perception check. Actually, any of you guys can give me a perception
You can
check.
take this and do what you like with it. 18.
Yeah, it's out of all the places that this key could have been buried thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago, it appears to be in the Argosa system, which is where Haven Shield is located. The world ship of Haven Shield with all of the pirates and warhounds and King Gorvalis. It appears to be in that system.
Trey inconvenient.
Or have been in that system.
Excuse me. This system.
I'm
is there
sorry. Would this make you more comfortable? And Domino, you see her. She looks like Brashul again.
Yes. I'm sorry. I meant to say yes.
I noticed you've been stuttering quite a bit.
Have I?
I wanted to make you more comfortable. And she walks over and puts her little fox-like paws on your arm. Thank you for the friendship.
In our private channels, Domino, just remember that is a cephalopod creature of significant age and manipulative power. She was a ruler of a vast empire once. I wouldn't trust anything that they say, given the fact that they're a bloodthirsty conqueror race.
Yeah, but if you get the chance to bone it, then do it.
Luna goes, it's okay. If she tries anything, I'm going to shoot her. And then realizes she said it out loud and not in the comms and goes...
She looks over at you. That would be understandable.
Why do you
she's
want
no
to leave
longer
now?
after this form. She's no longer in this form, speaking to you psychically.
Why have you decided to leave now? Why not just erase your memory again and live out your days as this little creature and end it all?
Because people have found us. Who knows who else is looking for this information? If you lot discovered this, we did this at a time that there was no one else. If there has ever been a time, Assander, it would have to be now.
Do you have access to the other temples?
No. Nothing more than these coordinates.
Is there anything special about this universe?
I don't understand the question. Domino, could you clarify for me?
Yes. Do you know anything outside of your sphere of influence here at the temple about the rest of this universe?
I have not known anything for many years, apparently. I have been on holiday far too long.
Domino instinctively picks her up and puts her on his head.
Oh, thank you.
I think that if Lacy found information on this place, then there must be a similar thing happening in one of the other 5 places for them to be the most commonly found. Some kind of an energy signal or something.
Lacy probably sent us here because she was heading to some other temple, realized just how far apart these things are. So she's got one of them already. She's going to get another one whilst we've been getting this one.
I'm sorry, who is this Lacy? Could you explain?
A friend. She's a friend. She let us here. That's all you need to know.
But if we figure out how she found this one, then we can figure out how she found the other one, and then which one it is.
That's a bit of a stretch, Domino. I mean, we don't know what she's been doing for the last 6 months, but the captain's right. We should keep this line of discussion for a later date.
I think there's a reason she didn't want people following her, and I think she's covering her tracks, and I think she found all of the coordinates, picked one, and didn't leave any traces, because I don't think she wants anybody following her. We need to make the right decision. We need to find a way to get to these and find her. I don't think sitting here and discussing all the possibilities is going to help us. We need to make a decision.
Great. How much tech of this place can we put inside of our really cool ship?
And that's still something we're going to do. All right.
I'm not sure what you're looking for specifically, but I will... and you see her kind of hold her little paw out. This time, levitating up to you is that cube. You will need this. She reaches it out again, and you can see several little... I want to describe them personally as USB sticks, but obviously they're much more advanced than that. Several little modules begin to pop out from the console.
Do we want to mute when we play with toy whale guns?
I'm going to be honest. I thought I was muted. I'm sorry. I apologize.
That's the sound it makes as it floats through the air. You're with soundboard now.
You're welcome.
They begin pulling out and floating up next to you, Domino. I assume this will do.
What is floating up next to me?
Busted. My bad.
Pieces of the modules that you've asked for.
Okay, great.
Navigation specifically. Is there a way that...
Sorry, go ahead.
Is there a way that you can lower the disruption field around this temple so we can get our starship here? It'll save us a lot of time, Captain, and then we can depart.
I could probably do that, yes. I will need bromeo, but I can do that. I don't want to... I don't want to remove everything for my friends.
I'm sorry. Did you say bromeo?
Yeah, bromeo.
Well, where art thou, bromeo?
She kind of looks at you confused, and then she begins, like, pulling on Domino like horse reins, trying to get him to go, because she's on the back of his head and neck. And she basically takes you out of this room and back over. She's taking you towards that big-ass robot that came out and EMP'd everything.
I'll be right back.
Okay, hey, Doctor and Luna, and Snicked, are we just going to put... I'm still confused on why we want to put all of the technology onto our ship. Is that just to make it so that we can get there easier?
Captain, just the navigational data that this database contains alone is worth a fortune.
So it's for navigation?
Well, that's one of the possibilities. The other is that this was an incredibly advanced...
Oh, you want to sell it?
Spanning... Well, possibly, but I mean, the research, Captain, they had the capacity to completely transform themselves using whatever powers they have. I don't think it's natural. It's definitely technology-based. They are eons ahead of where we were. Apart from selling the information contained within these machines, we could upgrade the ship, we could upgrade everything on it. To leave it behind would be criminal, not to mention the fact that, yes, we could sell off some of the secrets that we uncover from it. Luna, back me up here. This is not something that...
No, I understand. No, I get it.
What if we keep the technology and leave that thing here?
I feel kind of bad for her.
I don't.
Snicked, what are your thoughts on this whole thing?
I am... I'm all for making a buck.
Yes,
If it's worth money, we should definitely take it.
Yes, and leaving behind the squidling manipulator.
I don't know if Domino is going to agree with that.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Well, Captain,
You didn't
you're
say
the
yet.
Captain.
All right, let's take the technology and try to get one of those coordinates as quick as we can. It's
Can
gonna
we
take
can we
a while.
vote? Is this a democracy?
Well, yeah, everybody's got a say. So yeah,
I mean, sometimes I feel like I don't have a say, but that's fine.
that's because you're an asshole.
Stay on focus. All right, let's vote to see if the creature is brought with us. Luna,
No.
Captain.
I don't know.
That's not a vote. It's yes or no.
Yeah, I don't mind. I think we might need her. I don't trust her at all, but I think we need her.
Well, I'm just saying, and whenever she was the old, little fox girl before she got all her memories back, she did try to, save us from, a couple of the traps in this place. So I think her instincts are good.
You think that was her?
Why else would she do it? She said it. The temple tried to kill us.
Yeah, but maybe it's for some more ulterior motive. It's, the ends justify the means. She could be saving us to prepare us for something else. Both sides have a point, but at the same time, I think we need her. I think she's.
So you're saying yes, Captain?
Yes.
We can assume Domino will say yes. That's 2-1.
Obviously, yeah.
Snicked, what's your final call? Yes or no?
What's yours?
If you look closer, you can see the brain moving around because it's thinking.
It's like pulsating in the jar, causing little waves.
One day I'll have my body back, and then we will see. Then we will.
Yeah, maybe she can even help you figure out how to get your body back.
Yeah, she's really good at that, actually.
If she can
kills
transform
you-
herself, maybe she can
Yes.
help you transform into a new body.
I'm
If she
very
kills you-
aware of that, Snicked, but I'm also aware that she is the last of her race. What would you try and do if you were the last of your race? Would you sit back, or would you genetically recreate your race so that you can once again take over the entire universe? We might just be helping transport Pandora's box out into the universe. And if it is the choice of obliterating the universe for sake of my body, I am drawn and compelled to say that she stays here. If she couldn't leave beforehand, perhaps entrapping her on this planet makes the most sense. Do we really want the being that was in charge of a galactic empire to be released once again into the universe?
You're right. We also already do have the coordinates to Oasis.
Hey,
the
that's
maps
totally
and all
fair.
the data.
Not necessarily. We don't necessarily need her. We just. Having
But-
the technology would be cool.
Let me just ask you this, Sander. If she was, smart enough to make her own race again, why wouldn't she already have done it? And also, if we just leave her here, what would stop her now that she has all her memories back? Maybe keeping an eye on her would be the better plan.
I don't want to babysit a inevitable destruction of the universe.
As a matter of fact, Captain, I think Snick's onto something there. If we let her assist us, and she seems to have a bond with Domino, quite close bond, possibly bordering on committing some kind of violation of intergalactic law, I'm not entirely sure, but nonetheless, there's a bond forming. Perhaps we use her to understand her technology, to unlock her secrets, to learn everything we can, and if we notice tendencies towards megalomania and empire building, then we're in the right position to make sure that the galaxy isn't taken over by slimy tentacle creatures.
All right, fine. Let's take her and see what happens. Snick's
Luna,
right.
are you-
There's no use keeping her here. She can just leave.
Yeah.
I think
Domino,
it's good that she's a friend for now.
As she guides you over to Bromeo, doors open and close. Every time she gets up to a new module, it scans her again. Ding! And begins opening up. And you can realize that all of the things in this temple that you guys were having issues with scanning you realize are clearly scanning her and her genetics. As she makes her way to this big robot that had slid out to EMP the rest of these things, she doors open up. She jumps right off your shoulders, climbs up this thing, and begins typing and working on it from a nearby module.
Domino's just watching. He's still recording.
How far should I set this out for? Are we leaving now?
I don't know what you're doing.
Your friends want me to turn off, basically make it easier to get back to your ship. But I can't leave this temple unattended with its hazards. So I need the mists back up for my family.
Oh, we just want to get the ship and then bring it here. So that way we can pack up everything and you.
Okay. Are we leaving now? I can set that.
Captain, are we leaving now?
I'd like to leave as soon as possible.
Great. We're leaving now.
Okay. I can set that. You all begin to feel like a rumble and shake. And eventually it smooths out, and you feel like you're all moving.
Oh, shit.
Domino,
But you don't feel like you're moving very far.
Yes.
is this your doing?
No.
Are you lying?
I'm not doing anything.
Is it our friend who's doing
Yes.
this? Okay.
Please tell them I'm just making a few adjustments.
She's just making a few adjustments.
The hell does that mean?
I don't know.
Okay, well, all right. Great. This is great, guys.
Well, it does mean two things, Captain. It means that Lacy has got at least one of these objects and is moving on the second, which puts us ahead of almost any other competition. We have one of them now, so that means we're 2 for 6. Whichever one we go for next, well, there's a big chance that we'll either find Lacy or we'll find another one of these stones.
I don't understand. I thought Lacy said that she was going to meet us here.
Well, perhaps she intended to meet us here, but she's been held up.
Isn't that what
Or-
she told Beetle? Is that we need to go here because that's where she was going to meet us?
Yes. It does raise questions about Beetle, too.
Isn't Beetle on the ship?
He is.
Why haven't we found any trace of Lacy at all?
Well,
Did she say she would meet us here?
her intention was to do that.
Then where the hell is she?
Assuming that the rest of the temples are built in the same way, perhaps she isn't traveling with such a crack team of temple infiltrators. I'm so glad I don't have a face right now.
You think she died?
No. I think she's just taking time to be cautious and to
She might have, though. She might have totally died.
Shut up, Snicked.
I'm just
All right,
saying.
well-
This place wasn't easy, and we had the last one.
Yeah, but that's because we blundered through it like a 4-backed rhinoceros from Tarza 5.
Exactly like that. Well, then we need to try to find her before we leave. If she might be here, then we need to find her. I have no idea where she'd be though. We haven't found any trace.
I don't think she's here, Captain. I don't think she's got to the planet, to be honest with you.
I don't know. Maybe we just got to sniff around or something.
Snicked is being strangely insightful right now, and I feel like we should listen to him.
Domino,
Or we could just leave her.
Domino, could you see if our friend would be able to scan the interior of this ship for any signs of Lacy, or the planet for that matter? Our scans were very ineffective.
Yes. Excuse me, Brashul.
It's Ogno. If it would make you more comfortable to keep calling me Barshul, I guess that's okay.
It does. Can you scan the system and see if our friend Lacy is here? If we give you a bioscan?
Sure. Although none of my immediate connecting with the systems has said that this temple has even been opened in 4,637 years.
Can you scan the system?
Sure.
Great.
She slides over to the second console. I have nothing. Are you sure your friend was going to meet you here? Or has been here? Or what?
Hold on. Let me check Cassandra's emails. Yes, she was supposed to meet us here.
Oh, well, she hasn't been here. No one has.
We're the first person to open the temple.
What? That seems...
We're the first people to open the temple.
That feels wrong. That feels like... I feel like other people have gotten here before. Did we see evidence of other people have been here before?
Not once we'd entered the temple proper, sir.
It's just... So...
Perhaps we should make our way back to the starship so that we can prepare for evacuation. If we enter orbit, we can perhaps scan the planet again, see if we miss signs of her.
Yeah, all right, let's do that then.
Rachel, do your scanners reach the other planets in the system?
I didn't build them for that. No.
Okay.
Luna, a personal question, if I might, since we are making our way out of this temple now.
Probably the wrong person to ask a personal question, but yes.
Well, I think you're the most appropriate person I can ask. There was a period where we all seemed to be suffering from delusions or dreams of some kind. The captain dreamt of fame and glory, snicked of... I don't recall exactly. What did you dream of? You said the spheres, didn't you? You said you'd been here before.
I dreamt the spears were in the next room, which is how I knew to go through that door. And also, and you see her hesitate for a minute. It was almost like a corrupt database, but everywhere I walked, it was off. Glitches, visual distortions. Not sure what to make of it.
Perhaps the temple had difficulty interfacing with you. Nonetheless, Captain, I'm not sure if there is anything else that we can do here once we've loaded up the tech.
We need to find Lacy.
Agreed.
Let's get back to the ship and try to find her. Is everything still moving?
You have settled.
Okay. Hey, Domino, can you ask what's the fuck if there's an exit nearby? Because I can't find one. There's no signs. We're kind of in the middle of everything. Where do we go?
Sander, you have a vast wealth of knowledge on words, places, everything.
And orange.
What's the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
I think she prefers Brashul, but I'll ask.
Yeah.
Is there an express route out of here so we can get back to our ship?
Express route.
Absolutely. And she presses another button. You see her kind of look over, and she slams it down. Domino, right in your face, you see from the nearby walls. All around your feet from all where you guys are standing currently. Through the little cracks and crevices and nooks and crannies, you're covered in that pink mist that you guys have seen before. In a matter of moments, you feel yourselves getting lighter and drifting away.
All of us are sprayed with pink?
All of you have the pink spray. You got the pink! Guy,
I really hate this form of transportation. It feels like I'm about to die. I panic every time.
First we got black, now we got pink.
However, this time you don't lose consciousness, but instead feel like you're being stretched and pulled. As you look around, the last few things that you can see are Snicked, Jet, Luna, Sander being pulled up into one of the, like, to the top of the room and through one of those little tunnels that all of the little wasp-like, mosquito-like drones came out of. In a matter of moments, you find yourselves being expelled from the temple out into a sea of white mist. The immediate area you guys are in is unshrouded, like the temple grounds were with the turrets and the columns. Behind you, as you rematerialize all next to each other, you can see this temple again. But very obviously from all the dirt around it, it is picked up and moved over to closer to your starship. As you guys have landed in the trees and the jungles near the clearing where you first touched down into the jungles of Greth. But that same white fog seems to be emanating from several sprays over the top of it, not coming out of the pipes in the ground like it did the first time. I'm sorry about that. That was the exit. You said you were ready to go.
Right, yeah. Thanks. We're by our ship, right?
Yeah, you can see your ship. Your ship
gonna walk
has
over-
the gate down.
Yeah, make my way over to it.
Ship has the gate down. Ogno turns over to you, and she kind of hands you a stack of, like, data disks, Domino. This should suffice for everything that you wanted to take, I believe. Though you will have a difficulty powering this up without the Terathum sphere. And you guys can all hear the begin to ignite. And then suddenly the engines go quiet. Like a puff of air. And it begins to slide, float, and rotate up and back over. The entire time being covered in this white mist. And you can physically see it spraying out around it as it disappears. And the mist that was once around you in this clearing kind of dissipates after a moment and kind of clears out and becomes thinner and thinner until it looks just like the temple was never there. Excluding the enormous, large chunk of trees and jungle that it kind of landed beyond the initial clearing.
I'm gonna walk over to the ship if I can.
You can.
And Beetle, you there?
It's so good to hear from you again.
Oh, good, you're alive. Yay.
I've got something for you.
Oh, yeah? What'd you find?
It's not what I found. It's what found me.
Oh. Uh-oh. What is it?
I think you better see this.
Yeah. Let me see it. Boop, boop.
Can we start going to pre-flight check mode, please?
You guys all board the ship. Ogno is thrilled to be aboard. Domino, what are you doing with the data disks? Are you helping them get the ship up and running, or are you...
Well, so to be clear, she said that I'll have trouble running these data disks without the Terathum sphere.
Without running the technology on the disks without the Terathum sphere.
Okay, cool. No, the important thing is getting the ship. We have probably months of hyperspace travel, so I can look at those later.
Jet Beetle pulls you into the comms room,
Yeah, okay.
where you have your own little, basically video playbacks and, you know, different star system maps and things like that. And he begins to play a video once all of you are kind of around this. This is a hologram pops up of Lacy surrounded in a small room. My friends, I am so glad you got my initial message. I cannot wait to see you on Greth, but just in case I'm delayed, I'm sending this ahead of time. I have found Oasis. I found it. I found the coordinates and everything. There's 6 of these, and you need to find each of them, and I'm going to meet you on Greth where we can find the last one that I need. I just left from the Argosa system, which is why I've been on the run. I found the Omni key. This King Corvallis had it. He didn't even realize what it was, or maybe he did. I don't know. But he was definitely upset that it was missing, and I had to keep a low profile. I don't know who he is in touch with, so I was unable to even trust my own Starfinder society. I mean, surely I could trust them, but I thought no matter what, I'd be able to trust you. Anyways, I'm just so excited that I can't wait to share this with you. I've got to make out of this for the moment. I'm over in Cranto. I'm hiding down. At this point, you can hear her kind of like, what? And she begins typing furiously, and you can hear banging and footsteps and yelling and screaming. The camera that she was recording this on, the pod that she was recording this on, tips over on its side. And you get a view of Lacy beginning to scream and fight. And she's desperately trying to get this last thing deleted as a group of individuals comes in and kind of abuses her and slaps her around a bit. Not in that way, but physically. As they kind of grab her and pull her out of the room.
What did she say she was? Sorry, Cody. What did? Where
It
did
was Cranto.
Cranto.
You know Cranto. You've been there. You've actually
Really?
been there with Lacy previously.
All right.
It's a big hub. It's kind of dirty, and it's very. It's overrun with factories and the factory workers. They produce a lot of metal works. Big ships come in, but it also has like a lot of industry there. So it's for the parts that are livable and have not been converted to factories and additional space. It's very reminiscent of Coruscant in the way that it's very stacked with a lower level in the city versus the kind of rich people who own the factories and who make the business dealings, who come here to make their trades and do those things. It is not seedy like Haven Shield, but it is a very busy hub.
Got it. How far away are we from Kanto? Does anyone know?
You're in your own private little room.
Oh, am I?
Isn't that what you said,
I
Cody?
assumed everybody was seeing this, but if you
Oh, my apologies.
want to say that you were getting the ship ready, you can miss this.
I assume that's what's happening. I thought that Beetle pulled the captain aside on his own.
Did, and then Cody said and then everybody joins, kind of on the side.
It's your
I'm
call.
sorry, I missed that.
No, it's okay.
You
It's
can
okay.
take
It
this
was
player
small.
information or not.
Sure, I'm happy to have been there.
Does anybody know how far away from Kanto?
One second.
You are about 6 days of drift travel from Cranto.
We're about 6 days out.
Sorry, is it Can or Cran?
Cranto. Kranto.
Cranto, got it. All right, we need to go there now. Let's get the ship up and running and make our way there. Lacy's
I don't want to be too negative here. Wow. All of her other missives were encoded and encrypted.
and this one isn't.
No. Also, it's a video file. Also, if she was grabbed before it was done being made, how did she send it?
Maybe it was automatic.
If you don't complete,
why would she send us that kind of video? You think it's a trap?
What are you implying, Domino? That looked like a pretty good, convincing performance to me. You were saying that she's setting us up.
Can you perform very well under pressure of a gun? I know the captain can.
I can? Yeah, I can.
Can we replay the video?
Absolutely, you can.
That King Corvallis knows us and wants us, and we stole the ship from him. And the what the hell are the space dogs called? What are they? The war dogs?
Warhounds.
The war dogs are chasing us, and they worked for King Corvallis as well.
All right, let's watch the video again. Those goons that grabbed her. Is there any way we can identify? Does anyone remember what those warhounds looked like? Because what was that thug, Rulkins, who was the warhound leader?
Enhance.
Oh, yeah, that asshole.
Yes, enhanced grid 9A.
What are you looking for specifically?
That's grid 9A.
The hands and forearms that grab and accost her, like the people. We want to zoom in on these people.
Yeah, we want to see if any of them look like the warhounds, if there's like tattoos or marks specifically, or maybe there's a
Is
face.
this deep faked? That's what we want to know.
Why, Jacob, I have no idea what you mean. Perhaps you could explain to me what you're asking.
This isn't After Dark. I can't explain that here.
I know. Send it to me in a text, buddy.
Okay.
You see a little small symbol of a set of wings with a bit of lightning bolt, kind of a electricity arcing through it, tattooed on one of the forearms. You're not sure what that means. The rest of the people and figures that you see seem to be kind of dressed in, these are not civilian suits, obviously. They're not uniformed from, like, guards, if she was grabbed from the Cranto police or anything like that. They're not security outfits. But none of the Warhounds really have a uniform to them. The most uniform thing they have about them is the type of weapons and armaments that they carry on them. You have noticed that Ralkins and the rest of the Goreborn, which were one of the fangs, or one of the packs, excuse me.
Dog.
I know, right? They saw a squirrel. Oh my God, let's freak out. You do notice that several of them had like different markings of a similar thing. Theirs were a set of horns surrounded in a bloodied, dripping circle.
Cody, I am a criminal as my theme. So I have both like back alley connections and I also have legal corruption connections. So I kind of know the legal criminals and the illegal criminals.
Yeah.
Can I roll some kind of knowledge check to see if I recognize this symbol at all?
Yeah, go ahead.
What would you want? I didn't specify because I don't know.
Why don't you just tell me what you want to roll? What do you think would be appropriate? See, that's how you put it back on the players.
Man, I don't think culture, I guess, would be probably the most appropriate one.
I feel that would probably be correct.
Sure. Nope.
You don't know shit about
Great.
this marking before.
Great.
The only thing that you would probably feel is that it might be it's almost like a logo, right? It's the way that it's drawn is very much like a logo. You've seen gangs carry the same type of simple symbol to draw.
Right.
This is not like a unique tattoo that is colored and shaded and beautiful. Yeah. This is like
it's like a set.
It's a mark that could probably be duplicated easily.
I will begin pre-flight checks for Captain. I assume we want to leave immediately.
Well, yeah, we gotta go anyways, even if it is a trap, but at least this time we'll know it's a trap. Even if it isn't, maybe we'll find Lacy. Maybe they have Lacy. In any case, this is our only direction and our only lead, and we need to go there.
Agreed.
Because that means they know where Oasis is too, because Lacy has spilled all the beans in that message.
And can I suggest...
We know everything. That means we need to fucking go.
Can I suggest that we stop off on, say, a random planet of Luna's choice where we will leave behind the last key before we go to Cranto, in case we just get captured and at least we don't have it with us?
Yes.
And if we were to surround that with, say, a neurological agent, so anyone approaching it is knocked unconscious, say a neurological agent that I might have the antidote for so that we're not locked unconscious.
Yes.
As a backup plan.
It's in the name of safety for the mission.
Well, of course.
All right, then. Yes. Let's do this.
Since I'm sitting at the console with this video up, and since this is my job, I want to scan this video file. Like, is the file too big? Are there hidden files in it? Are there weird things? She was typing a lot before it was sent, at least in the video. I want to see if there's like a hidden message, if it's encoded, if there's an extra layer of encryption on the video itself, and also how the hell Beetle got.
Give me a computers check.
Oh, I will actually ask Beetle. Hey, Beetle, was this message encrypted when you got it?
No.
That's
27 on my computer's check.
You don't detect any encryption on this. Now, maybe that's because she got accosted and didn't have time. Maybe that's because it wasn't from Lacy. But you feel like it had Lacy in it. But the technology in this type of world could CGI Lacy's face and make her look 20 years younger if it wanted to. Hell, we could do that now.
Whilst going through the pre-flight checks, I secretly, with a little bit of hope, checked my email in case maybe she sent me a letter before she sent the video file. I mean...
As you check your email, you are discouraged to find that there is nothing additional addressed to you, Asander.
She was probably busy. She was probably going to send it after she sent that message. That's probably why she didn't send anything.
All right, let's get going. I have a plan.
Great, why don't you tell the rest of us?
Oh, yeah, we're gonna go straight to Granton.
Cranto.
Cranto. We're gonna go straight to Cranto. That's our.
We're not going to drop off the code.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yes, we're going to do that.
So, by the way, who is that?
That's a new friend. That's all you need to know.
Friend is
around
around
on the planet. She's really important to finding Oasis, and that's about it. Also, she really likes Domino.
If this wasn't encrypted and they took her and she got it sent off before she could encrypt it, they might know where we are.
That is why we are trying to take off.
Yeah.
If you want to be flying, you can, here in a few moments.
Luna, start flying!
I am not the captain of this ship, nor am I.
I don't fly it. I tell everybody what to do.
Nor am I the pilot.
Yeah.
I could do so if you would like.
Yes, please. That's what I'm telling you to do.
Don't worry, I'll get it up and running in just a moment.
Yeah, you can do it too, Snicked.
Water.
We have assigned roles for
20. She rolls. She goes over. And you see her flick a switch, and she goes, "That's not it." Turns it off and goes, "That's what I meant to hit."
In a moment, the engines kick on, and Luna, you're piloting the ship if you want to be.
Yeah. Where is the object alien button?
Captain?
Yes.
I don't want to sound like a paranoid android, but that video, I'm very concerned about it.
What do you mean?
I could make that video on this ship right now and put it with your face.
We all know this, right?
I don't think Lacy is even there.
You think she's still here?
I don't think she's in any of these places.
Are you implying that it was Beetle who made this video?
I'm not implying that, but I don't have enough details on Beetle, and I locked him out of the system.
Why would he do that?
It's a trap still, even if, as Domino points out, Cranto is a complete ruse and it's simply to get us to go there so we can be obliterated, which I doubt they would do in orbit since we might have a key. They wouldn't risk that.
Here's the thing, guys. They have Lacia because they don't know about all of this except for us and Lacia. Nobody's been in that temple for a long time. How would Lacia know any of it anyways? If anything, it's more plausible that what's-a-fuck made the message and she's trying to lead us there because she wants to find something. Because nobody should know this. She has the coordinates.
Well, except for the
how does King Corvallis have the coordinates? How would Beetle have the coordinates? We're the only ones that know this.
King Corvallis has the Omni Key.
Yeah, but then does that lead him straight to where all the other places to Oasis are?
No, I think you're right, Captain. As odd as it might be.
He shouldn't even know what it is.
Luna, could I suggest, since you're piloting, that you randomly select a planet for us to go and drop off our precious cargo on?
Luna looks over and which one is the farthest from where we are? And she looks over and asks our tentacly friend.
Time is of the essence.
There's many planets, but I haven't traveled them in quite some time. She goes over, sets, turns. You can see the same text popping up on your screen, and it kind of looks like it's almost about to glitch it out for a moment, and then it begins to correct itself, which it should not be able to do. That's pretty incredible. And it basically has adapted itself to your ship's programming language. There's many planets. If you want to go to any of those, that would suffice, I assume.
Which one is the farthest from our current system?
Well, give me a moment. And she begins typing and pulling up.
Domino, can you do something for me?
What about Dezuno?
Is that the farthest from where we would need to come back to where we assist in the universe?
It's the 6th planet on its star system. It's quite cold, not close enough to absorb enough heat. Basically made entirely of ice.
They would not expect us to go there next. Let's go there next.
They would never suspect the rebel base to be on an icy Hoth planet. Hey, Domino, can you do something for me?
Yes.
Can you find out where that thing was sent from? Like,
Sure.
Where did it have to go to get to our ship?
Yes.
That message.
Yes.
All right, do it.
Cody, while I'm trying to trace route this email here, I would also like to see if this email came with any, things like tracking viruses that might know where the ship's going.
So here's the deal. Out in the far reaches of space, really the only way to communicate that fast is still through the drift, right? So typically what they will do is they will have smaller messaging drones that literally travel through the drift with several messages over and over and over and over again. And they kind of relay them back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So this came from the drift. As far as you can tell, it seems to have come from Kranto.
Okay. Can I see if it came with any attachments? any ride-alongs?
There are no $5 off of Michael's coupons for the next 2
No, I want to
days,
see if this has a virus. I want to see if they're tracking us through this email. Right, there's an embedded virus in this email.
What's your check?
It is 31.
Not that you can tell.
Okay.
This seems to be literally a message
Okay.
without encryption.
No, Captain. Everything seems on the up and up. Ish.
Shit, what? Then they had to have found her and tortured her, or questioned her, or something.
It seems legitimate. I will scan the immediate area if possible before we jump to the drift to make our way to...
That is, unless the message is correct and true and it's actually what happened. I will be very surprised, but then we have nothing to lose, so we need to prepare for this thing to be fake.
Hey, Snicked. Did we scan the ship when we stole it back?
Yeah, absolutely. We had several days, remember?
Okay.
And we even changed our VIN number.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we did.
Can I double check that?
I mean, that's my job, but sure, yeah.
No, can I try to recall information to see if I remember him doing that?
Yes. I don't need a roll. You do recall him. You guys had a few days in the drift.
We ejected the cargo, if you recall, to create that...
Y'all were pretty panicked about being followed or tracked.
Space is clear. We can get out of here as soon as you want to punch it, Luna. Captain, we're ready to disembark.
As he asks, as she punches it.
You guys are in orbit here over Greth, having this last final argument.
You're supposed to wait for the captain.
Look at me. I am the captain.
You tear into a rift of colors as you enter into the drift for potentially the next 6 days. So I need to know very specifically, Luna, where are you taking them?
That farthest cold, shitty planet.
Zango. What's this called?
To Dezuno.
Dezuno,
wait,
sixth
not
planet of the
Arnaud?
system. Yeah, Dezuno, sixth planet of the system.
It's probably an additional 4-day travel in the drift out that direction. So you want to... I just want to be clear here. I want to be really clear here. So the group has received a message that might be from Lacy. It might have been faked. Or as Jacob would say, deep faked. And where she was taken violently. Instead of meeting you through an encrypted message at a place that she said that she was going to meet you. And so instead you guys are going 4 days in the opposite direction away from Lacy, who you saw taken violently. I just want to be on the same page with you guys.
Correct.
Yes.
They will not kill her if they have her because they are using her as a trap. They'll
Yeah.
wait for us to arrive. They don't know how long it's going to take us.
Just sucks.
It does indeed. Snicked, you need to help Domino, if you'd be so kind. Domino, we need to build a trap around our little key here on Dezuno.
You won't be able to go down to the surface. You'll need a drone.
I would like to point out that they could totally kill Lacia.
Why?
They don't need her alive if the email was the bait. We're already coming there.
So you say she's already dead?
Why keep her alive? All that they
don't
the
show
one
up.
key. But if she has all 5 keys,
She's still missing the one. So they've got some options. They send their own people here to Greth and find an empty temple.
Somebody's lying. And I'm gonna say this out loud, and I'm gonna look over at Brashul. You said nobody's been in that temple for 4,000 years, and we just got a message from one of our friends saying everything that you told us.
Well,
How
of
is
course.
that possible?
there's 5 other temples. No one was in that temple.
There you go,
So
Domino.
there's 5 other temples
She
with that
gives you-
information.
Well,
Yes.
at each of the temples,
that's what
we
she
know
said.
where the other temples were supposed to be located.
So you're not the last of your kind.
No, they could just be something different.
I might
than
have
it.
made an assumption.
So there could be 5 other of your race, 5 other sex.
I don't think that that's true. We were supposed to meet. And I didn't. And I was clearly where I was. So, unless...
The other ones didn't show up at their designated locations.
Cody, I have a question for you. From the time we got the email from Lacia, the encrypted email that says, go find Beetle.
Let's say message.
Sure, message. How many space days was that?
That would have been... Let's see, I think you spent 4 days getting out here. Is that correct?
Yep.
And then
Sure.
you spent 3 days getting back to the... Oh my god. I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on
it's
this. Yes,
safe
the
to
main
assume it's been
system.
weeks.
It's been probably 10 to 12 space days.
Okay. So as this kind of conversation's happening, Domino looks around to everyone and says, I would like to reference the message again. She said that message. She sent it before we were supposed to be here. Meaning she sent it after she sent us the original message 12 days ago. Which means they've likely had her for around 12 days.
The reason they would keep her alive is to make sure that we get there. But I guess they could have killed her, but there's only one way that we can really find out, Domino, is that's if we go there.
That's not true.
All right, what's your option then?
If we go to another one of the temples and they're missing their cube, then we know that she went to that temple. If the temple has the cube, then we know that her story checks out. If they haven't killed her in 12 days...
I don't like it because I don't like abandoning her, but at the
Go
same
ahead.
time, she might just already be dead, or this could be fake.
I'm okay. Seriously, I'm fine.
Again, you're
Glad
not
that you're
muted.
fine.
Oh, your
10
mute
out of
sucks.
fucking 10.
Your mute sucks. It's almost like as bad as dogs howling in the background.
It's true.
Oh,
Is it? Is it as bad as dogs?
Oh, a squirrel, Dad, let me out. I want to chase it so badly.
Would you mind your dogs or childhood here? I'm not sure. All right.
Here's what I think. If we go there's a chance they get all of the coordinates and this last cube. If we don't go there and we die at one of these other temples, then the cube is lost forever, and then no one finds Oasis.
All right. It's smart.
But if we
Does
go to
everybody
the
else
furthest
think?
one and work our way back towards our own system,
It's safer. It makes more sense. I think that we should follow through with Domino's idea. We should go to one of the other planets and try to find.
After having gone to Dazuno.
this is one of the planets that has one.
Wait, it is?
No, it isn't. It's the furthest planet from where we are now.
She
It's-
asked for the furthest planet that has one.
Oh, that has one on it?
That's what she said.
Oh, never mind.
Of all of the coordinates,
Okay, well,
which
you know
one is
what?
the furthest?
We'll say, forgive me. I
It's
thought
not
you were
going to
just
a
like.
random farthest planet.
Well, I thought
Yeah,
you were
that's what we
trying to go
thought.
to a
That's
nearby,
what-
like, faraway planet, not one that had it on there. That makes way more sense to me
Let's
now.
go to fucking Pluto for no reason.
Well, I thought you wanted to drop off the cube and hide it.
I thought
That was-
that's what the plan was too.
that
So
was
I'm
the
glad I'm
plan.
not alone.
I'm also confused.
Yeah, the nearest temple location would be Baruda. So
No, the
I do
furthest
want to
The furthest.
I know the furthest nearest one to you. Listen, I want to ask very specifically if the rest of the group still wants to do that.
Yes.
Because you
Yes.
all kind of thought the same thing that I was thinking, that she was just dumping this cube on a faraway,
Well,
isolated planet.
Okay, that clears it
doesn't-
up for me and makes way more sense. And if that's what I would have known at the beginning, then I would have said yes to that. Because, yeah, why wouldn't we do that?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to dump
Random
it.
planet instead of something that's much better than that.
So you want to
Yeah.
go to the nearest
Yes, to
cube
Baruda.
location
no, the furthest cube location.
to you, not
That's
to.
what you're saying.
Yeah, the furthest away one, so we can work our way backwards.
I understand. Then let me retcon just a little bit because I misunderstood. So you're going to be traveling the drift for about 12 days. You are going to slide across the galaxy into a planet called Baruda, which is not on any of your maps at all. None of you have heard of Baruda. You know nothing about the system. This is only in Ogno's mapping system, not in your star systems. You have never heard or seen. You don't even know, as far as you know, nobody in Absalom Station or any of the Starfinders even know that the system exists.
So our plan right now is to go there. We need to check out the temple there and see if we find anything, right? Domino?
Yes. If they have a cube, then Lacy didn't find it, and that message is a lie.
All right. What if the cube is gone?
Well, then, that message is far more likely to be real.
All right. That's our plan then. We go there, we find the cube. If it's there, then we know we got to go get the other ones. If it isn't, then we go straight to Krento.
Yes.
All right. Let's go.
We're going.
Oh, yeah, we've been going for days.
The time is going to pass relatively easily for you here in the drift over the next 12 days. It's always a crapshoot. The crew of the Rogue Infinity has even had some pretty harrowing experiences traveling in the drift before, but this seems to be pretty easy for you to slide out. And before you guys get there, I do want to ask, is there anything specifically your characters would be doing, or questions you'd be asking of people, or give me an example of how you guys would be spending these past 12 days with the thought that you're being set up as a trap, and or you've been told the truth and Lacy is in danger.
I'm having Snikt assist me in trying to fit to fit the cube into the ship somewhere, because it had ports and connections, right? I think you said that.
The cube itself,
Yeah, is that not?
it did
Or
not
was that a
seem
giant
to.
robot?
When she set it into the console, when she set it into her initial console, it had like a square, an empty slot.
Sure.
So it
Okay.
almost is like a magnetic connection.
Yeah. I'm trying to have Snicked assist in building some kind of mechanism that will make that work, and also find a way to access these discs over the course of these 12 days.
Ogno will help you.
Oh, Ogno can help it too.
Yeah, she'd be. I mean, if you ask her for help, she can help you decipher their language and make it go much faster.
Perfect.
What
He does.
information are you trying to get off the discs?
All of it,
specifically?
Cody. Nothing. He wants to make it work so that he can access it whenever, right? Basically, like, Domino's goal is to find these other places and be able to, like, track this shit so that it's far easier to find these things and get these cubes to work on the ship. And then his tertiary goal is to make the ship super rad.
The plans and information and data that you find would be like taking someone from the 1300s and playing, movies and films and images, just pouring at them out of a computer for building an atomic bomb, right? Where this is stuff that it's going to take, you get it, you put these pieces of metal and connect and blah, 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 and power it with this energy and it does this thing. But still, it's so much information that it's quite hard to process. There's a lot of information here for using the terathum spheres. Some of the things you realize that these things can do is that they can build, they can create, they can destroy, they can absorb, they can hold memories, they can store lifetimes. There is a specific set of information that you find particularly overwhelming in how collecting the information and ripping it from someone that has lived thousands and thousands and thousands of years, how difficult that is to store and categorize and lay out so that it can be reabsorbed by someone later or viewed with other devices that you're like, I don't know what this is. So for the most part, it's quite overwhelming. The most valuable, immediately helpful thing that you've been able to pull from this is the star maps. You do find a significant chunk of these to be rather obsolete. You find a lot of this data and information showing you and talking about how to build out drift engines. But drift engines is a technology already given to people by Triune. So maybe 4,000, 5,000, 10,000, whenever these data files were created ago, that was like mind-blowing information. But that is actually information that you guys have now. Your ship, you're in the drift. So you find that to be rather useless.
Okay.
What about you, Luna? What are you doing during these 12 days as you pass through the drift?
She's just keeping a watchful eye on our newest crew member and maybe asking questions about if she's what Oasis is like, what to expect, things like that.
She seems to keep telling you that it's an invisible store. So she explains that you need 6 different coordinates to find its location in space. And then you need the Omni key, or the Omni extricator, as she keeps calling it, that will ultimately reveal Oasis. And that it's supposedly filled with terathum spheres. Sandra, what are you doing during this time?
Sander is trying to, perhaps with the help of Snicked or Domino, when they're not busy on their projects or they're busy decompiling stuff, he wants to build a box, a case that will fit the cube into it, but that when it's opened, it will eject a gas, a sedative.
A toxin?
Yeah, a sedative. Just
Interesting.
an airborne sedative. And it mustn't look like a trap. It must be, there is just no way to open this without it doing so.
So I think that that's clearly an engineering check.
Yes, that's why somebody else is helping. I can help. I've got engineering.
Are you going to engineer this and design this yourself? Or are you going to get Snick to do it?
I'm going to ask Snick to do it. I'll give him ideas.
I could also help. If you want.
I think that sounds great.
Oh my God, David. That can't be right.
Yeah, he's got like a plus 17.
I'm staring at his character sheet and it has plus 21 on it for engineering.
No, that's right.
That sounds about right.
Jesus Christ, David. I have no idea. He's only level 7. I'll take it. Snikt is more than capable of helping you design such a tool. You will have to also give me a simple medicine check, or life science, excuse me, to bioengineer the exact toxin in the right amount of potency.
All right, 33 for medicine and 22 for life science.
I love it. Over the next 12 days, you and Snikt have devised 3 boxes capable of both storing the cube and ejecting out a puff of smoke that will knock people out. You do know that most people wear suits to protect them from space, but if you can get them without that, then absolutely you feel like this would be quite capable to knock people out. Jet, what are you doing during this time?
I am playing video games, and then as he's playing video games, I think about stuff while he plays the games. And then I'm sitting there, I'm like, So I get up, and I walk out, and I go to everybody one of the days and say, hey, idea, what if we try to send a message to Lacy? You think that would be bad? Like maybe they could track us?
To act as if we didn't get her video message?
No, we just send a message saying, okay, on our way. Also, how are you doing? What's your favorite color? I don't know.
But if they know that we got the video message, they would know that we saw her being taken.
So it's not gonna be encrypted or anything.
Well, no, she didn't encrypt ours. So the one she said to us, maybe we do encrypt it. I don't know. I feel like we should just take the option. It doesn't seem like a bad idea, other than the idea that maybe the people who have her can track us.
I think I have an idea off of that, Captain.
All right.
We send an encrypted email so that we know that only she can open it, and we have a Sandra write it. Because he's in love with her.
It could be a love letter. Perfect.
Yes, but you say things that only she would know the answer to.
Yes. And she understands that kind of code thing. She would want to know that we want to know it's her. That kind of thing.
But if they killed her, then, we won't get a response back? What if they just have her prisoner?
Right.
Well, then we know for sure, but I don't see why we shouldn't try it.
If they killed her, we won't get a response at all. And if she's prisoner, then if they let her send an email response, she can tip us off.
Or if they try and respond on her behalf, perhaps. But can't we not necessarily talk about the romantic side of things? Because it wasn't ever reciprocated, really. I mean, she was coming round, but
then it doesn't seem obvious. Just
the doctor, everyone knows.
Mm-hmm.
Knows what?
You might just be a brain in a jar, but you've got a heart.
Ogno is still in Brushul form, and she seems to have been taking on quite a few of Brushul's original characteristics since returning to her form. And so she has this big peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and she is just like, it's way too big for her mouth, and she's just like eating it. She has it all over the sides of her face.
The doctor likes Lacy.
Oh.
Well, just tell the whole world, why don't you? All right, fine, I'll write this.
I can send a message out to the
I can write a
entire
program
world.
that would make that easier.
Mm-hmm. Hey, everyone. Asanda. Okay, I'm sorry. But no, really, you should do it and see if you get anything back, all right? I just got to the Forest Temple, so why don't you finish that, okay? And I'm going to go back to playing
video
Zelda.
games.
Yep.
All right, so you've come up with a plan to send her a message to try to see if you can't get some sort of message back to decipher if she is captured or dead or what. So who are we following up on that? Is that happening or not?
Mm-hmm.
We can send it. What do we is it just a follow-up as if we haven't watched that video file?
No, I mean it would be like a coded love letter, right? Like you would send her an email, like the emails you normally exchange, except you'd be looking for asking specific questions.
Yes, no, I understand that, but do we send it as if I haven't seen the video?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right. All right. I can write something, I suppose. Right. Good. All right. Well, I'll write the letter, I suppose. Are you going to read it?
No, just if you need any inspiration, maybe read up on some Bromeo and Juliet.
I'll read it.
Right. Well, I'll do my very best. All right. I'm going to write this letter. I'm going to describe a location, a planet, as a matter of fact. And I'm going to talk about, do you remember when we went for that awfully lovely walk under the 6 moons of Caden, where we then spotted that one Kisaurus underneath the moons? It was delightful, and I thoroughly enjoyed it and wish that we would do it again. What was your favorite honeymoon spot, my beloved? For I wish to return there one day with you and rekindle the passion that soared through my loins. And how many...
Gross.
I didn't ask for your literary criticism on my letters. Thank you very much, Arnaud.
He's going to read it anyways.
What sort of letter? You get a letter.
It's like when you edit a Google Doc with another person, he's highlighting things and commenting.
Just ignore, dismiss. How many Artosian hamburgers would you like to consume? Because I will need to order them beforehand to make sure that they have prepared them. As you remember last time, they were very slow in bringing the order around, and I would hate to have to kill them again. Must I really make it authentic?
Yes.
It's just a Sander writing this, typing it with Domino over his shoulder.
I imagine Ogno on his shoulders, like, looking back down at him, like, "Ooh, what's that?"
You are
That's the thing.
always...
Like the ships only have near comms, and the reason that this one can send interplanetary messages is because Domino's the exchange server. So the emails literally go through him and onto the drift.
Domino, my internet's shit. Can you get closer, please?
Hold on, one second.
Oh, that's great. Thanks.
You will always remain close to my heart. Your ever-loving little pink squishy. Right, there you go. If she doesn't get the coded message, I don't know what.
You send it.
I've asked her for a location and how many people are holding a prisoner. Hopefully she'll understand then.
The message goes off. You know that it will take time to return.
You have to get the space pigeons to send it.
Are you guys doing anything else for the remainder of this time through the drift? Now that your plan is abreast?
Our plan is abreast. Therefore, we shall wait until it... I didn't have any more words after that.
Yes, I prefer other anatomy to be part of our plan.
Our plan is a dick.
To life.
Lesson in subtlety. What? All right, so nobody's doing else. No, everybody else is doing dick for the remainder of this. Okay, I got it. All right, everyone's doing dick. Nothing's happening.
I don't have any ports.
God, as much as I love our Wednesday shows, I really do love cutting up on After Dark in ways that we cannot do here. Time presses on. The last few days of your journey, you do not hear anything back. You don't necessarily expect an answer back quite that fast, but you do know that you are approaching your exit from the drift very shortly, and you are expecting to come into a solar system here in
Baruda.
Baruda, correct, which is one of the coordinates.
Perhaps,
Furthest from where you guys were.
Captain, perhaps we should drop out just outside of the system in case they do have Lacy and they do have the coordinates and they have paid a mercenary ship to wait in orbit to see if we arrive.
Drop out, like, what do you mean?
Maybe 2 or 3 hours out of the system under regular ship's power. I'm not sure.
I'm not understanding what you're saying.
So instead of just traveling straight into the system, over Baruda, we drop out just before we get to the system, so we can have a look into the system before we get.
Oh yes, that's a good idea. We should be as careful as possible.
And then perhaps Luna or Domino can check for ships.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's stop right before we get into the system and then scan it for anything that looks bad.
Yeah, we don't want to come into like a trap or something.
Yeah, that would suck.
But I mean, surely they'd be like the closer ones, right? That's why we picked this one?
Well, Lacy said she has all of the other 5. If King Corvallis is wanting to cover all of his bets to pay 5 starships just to sit around a planet for a month or 2, I don't think it's going to be beyond his scope.
You break early from the drift. How far out do you want to be? 2 hours? An hour?
Well, our pilot gets to choose that, I think, and Lahuna declared herself captain
How
when
long?
we left.
Let's do.
Is there a captain's hat?
There sure
can
can
I-
be.
Captain.
Okay. She
hat.
took the captain. She tried to take the captain's hat, and he wouldn't let her. So she found one of Jet's hats and put her because he's.
I have like 8 pairs of the exact kind of aviator glasses.
She wears that and wears something that she thinks is a hat.
What is it
Literally
really?
almost at all times, Jet is this because he thinks he's cool.
Yeah, she took them. She took another pair.
All right.
Are you wearing dark glasses in the cockpit?
And sunglasses so you can look at suns.
I think they're slimming.
Sometimes.
All right. So, yeah, let's wait out maybe about 2 hours.
You break through. The star system is... You guys are into the star system at this point. You still are 2 hours from this individual planetary destination. However, your scanners can cover a larger ground than that. And it's a good thing that you decided to enter into this star system on the far reaches of it, because you can see on your scanners about 17 of these starships floating and hovering about outside of the planet.
Did you say 17?
17.
Oh, no.
You immediately recognize the call signals from the Warhounds, who are, in fact, waiting for your arrival out here and or searching the planet down below that this coordinate was on.
Well, then.
You can immediately begin to see their scanners must have picked you up, because they are already, some of them, not all of them, turning and heading in your direction.
Who relays this knowledge to everybody?
I don't know who's driving.
I mean, I
Who's
guess
on
it would
comms?
be the comms manager, the comms officer, which is Domino. So you get the slowest version of whatever he just said. There appear to be at least 17 ships outside of the planet.
Well,
Also, they are turning towards us. I believe they are the war dogs.
Yep. Okay, we're turning around right now and we're making our way straight to.
Whatever the light speed version of reverse is what Luna does.
It will take a few
Slowly
minutes.
starts to
It will take a few minutes, but you're confident that your scanners don't detect anything that is close enough to fire on you before you're able to make the jump again. Because you pulled up short, you're still in the star system, Your systems can still scan the whole star system. So can theirs, obviously. But because you pulled up short, they're not going to be close enough before you can make a jump again.
We
It
did
will
the
take a
space
few minutes in
equivalent.
here, though.
I want to suggest jet level space fuckery.
What
We
is
did
what
the
is
space
space?
equivalent of opening a door slightly, seeing a bunch of people point guns at us and go, oh, and just shut the door.
What is jet
pretty
level
much.
space fuckery, you ask, Cody?
What is
I want to. It's like I'm not going to because it's Domino and he wouldn't. But I want to suggest you take the manta ray and you just charge at the 17 ships, and then once you get in the middle of them, you enter the jump drive, which
Yeah.
implodes and explodes the ships.
You have to survive long enough to get there.
Yeah.
We have a
maybe
tiny,
you can
very fast
maybe you
ship.
can fly through a minefield and drag them behind you.
Listen, you don't know. I know that's from some. I know what yours is from. I know mine's from something, but I can't remember what the hell it's from.
It's from, they do it in Last Jedi.
Is that what it's from?
Yeah.
When they jump in the middle of the armada?
They jump into the middle of it and destroy all the ships, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So what are you doing? You have 5 minutes before you jump back again.
Where are we going, Captain? Cranto?
Oh, fuck, Cranto, yes.
She turns around with the hat and sunglasses, which is the closest.
Oh, if you're gonna look like me,
This
you
is
gotta
a
do the
stupid
voice.
idea.
But you
I
don't
start-
shut up.
I-
What?
So while they're arguing, Domino is sending the coordinates to the next planet over with a temple to Luna.
Oh yeah, because if you guys jump in the system while they scan you, you can probably be tracked. They're going as you enter into the drift. They're going to have a good idea on where you were jumping to.
Oh,
That's why you had to go through so many evasive maneuvers last time.
Got it.
What do we do?
I don't know. What do you
He's gonna
do?
jump out of the system to another one and then jump again after a few minutes.
Yeah, they can still track you through that.
Listen, we're gonna kangaroo it. We're jumping as much as we can.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to jump and then stay there and then jump again to throw them off our trail.
Could we jump into the corona of a star and then jump out of that? Surely
yeah, I'll
that
get my
would
sunglasses
master
on.
Systems. Since you're talking about suns, it might be a little bit of a complicated jump, I suppose, and there might be some calculations required. But
You want
Maybe
to you want to jump into a star.
no, the corona, so the burning gas on the outside, massive amounts of gravimetric distortion.
Oh, yeah, it would
people with
distort
the
our
plasma.
signal.
How close are you going to be to that star to make that happen?
16 kilometers, 15 kilometers.
We just get
16 kilometers from a star?
We have shields. I'm just saying, or a gas giant with a suitably large magnetic pole.
They do
I-
have things that can survive that. There's actually a city inside of a star.
Right.
Is the Rogue Infinity equipped to do that?
It is now. We got
Snicked can build something. Oh, we got this. Yeah.
Smarty Pants lady
We
on here.
should do this just because of two reasons. One, if we pull it off,
This
it's
is such a
fucking awesome. Number
terrible
two,
fucking
if we
idea.
don't, it is the greatest ending to this game ever of us going, shit, what are we going to do? Let's just fly next to a star. Psst.
And
Oh my god! Whatever it is, you're going to know if it's even close to being capable beforehand. Alright, here's what I will let you do. Because your characters are not stupid, well, it's subjective. I will let
I
you.
object.
I will let you get, however much the distance is. I will let you skirt along as close as it would be logical for you and your starship that you have had for years to skirt in an attempt to erase tracking. I'm not going to give you the distance. Oh yeah, your ship can. I don't know what your ship can survive, but I will let you get as close as you and your crew would know exactly before you're going to burn out the engines and poof away. But I'm gonna need some hella checks. What kind of checks you need? I don't know. Hella checks. First off, I need some piloting checks. Okay, that is happening.
Captain, Captain.
I'm not done. I want a check
Seven.
to figure out how close you're going to get. So let's do that let's do a physical science check from someone to figure out how close you guys can pilot to it.
Hell yeah, that's 20.
That's 20, 29.
God damn it.
I'm going to shift my comms terminal to the co-pilot and and assist Luna in piloting.
Yeah, you need to.
Do I need to roll, or does she just get a plus whatever the hell for Starfinder?
You're gonna make a roll to see if you can assist her.
Is it the blind leading the blind? Is what he wants to. Oh,
There's a reason he's the pun.
Are you sure y'all do not want Snick to roll? I'm just asking.
every time
doing?
she turns around,
I
he like
forget.
flicks the switch that she forgot to flick, and she turns back.
Can I cheer everyone on?
How would you
is the
do
actual
that
pilot.
as a human envoy, Jacob? Tell me how you are going to get them to fly, because Ascender's like, you need to be exactly this many clicks.
So here's the one thing Jet can kind of do. They can all be really smart, brains in jars, amazing at what they're doing, but sometimes they argue and don't get along. I just break up the arguments and tell them they're doing a great job. And they go, yep, okay, and then I just kind of solve all the social banter of what's going on with no additive to the
We
pilot.
bond over hating Jet.
So you captain. You do what a captain
Yes.
does.
I'm doing what the captain does.
I spy a star. And we're like, shut up.
Yeah, I forgot that Snick is the actual pilot, and he's got like a plus 12 to fucking pilot.
Could I make a
I'm aware.
check in order to be the pilot
Well, we want Snick to be the pilot.
or the captain?
Well,
Sorry.
because Luna is piloting, Ascender, you give her very detailed information on exactly how far out you think dude, it just rattles through. Your enhancements from being an android add to your human brain capabilities in a way that is just flawless. And you can make the calculations for exactly how far out you can be. And you're quite confident that it should, if everything goes according to plan, might possibly cause some interference to the point where you might be able to make a jump without anybody tracking you.
3.21 degrees entry vector. This is absolutely critical. If it's 3.22, we will bounce off of the surface of the sun and possibly...
Well, it's one hell of a way to go, right?
Luna, you're desperately trying to get it to that degree, and you get it to 3.225.
3.21. You must correct now.
The
What?
ship is beginning to melt away and take damage.
Can I
As you
use my
punch through-
can I roll again to try to fix this?
Perhaps Snicked? Captain?
Hey, Snick, can you make sure that Snick, can you really make sure we don't just melt into the sun right now?
You're bearing off course, Luna!
You're so terrible at driving with your big clumsy hands.
And he's going to pilot. Not much better.
That's what I rolled.
Yes.
So far, I'm the
He's
best
got a
pilot
plus
here.
14.
We're drifting in the wrong direction.
So that happens, and you punch it into the drift. The ship enters into the drift in a spin. And it's all you can do over the next few gut-wrenching moments to keep the ship together and steady. The shield, all of your shields have broken completely, and that's why actual damage was being done to the outside of the ship. But as you enter into the drift, you're alive.
Good job, everybody. Almost died, but hey, we did it.
Your engines are at 50%, but theoretically still functioning.
Oh boy.
Where are you taking the crew?
Cranto.
I don't know why I'm not hearing any sound at all. Give me a moment. I have no idea what just happened to that. Okay, I'm so sorry. Go ahead. I didn't realize anybody was talking.
Previously I had said, good job, everyone, we lived. And then I said, Cranto.
Crento.
Cranto.
Straight there?
Yeah, we need to get there as fast as possible.
That's not going to be very fast. And you realize it's probably going to take about 12 days now
That's fine.
to get all the way back just to Crento.
I don't really have much choice anyways.
You wait anxiously to see if you have been tracked or traced or passed in the drift here by any of the warhounds waiting for you. After a couple of days, you're confident that if you had been tracked, they would have caught you here in the drift. On the third day is when you receive, Domino, a message back to relay to Asander. It bears Lacia's and the Rogue Infinity's encryption.
What does it say?
It is a love letter back to Asander.
And it reads...
I'm not going to read it very specifically, and there's a reason for it. Because it's coded.
Well, Domino reads
And
it.
nudes.
Yeah. Domino reads it.
Just a
But the
break.
E is a 3. Oh, it's definitely her.
Oh, my dearest Asander, I long for the days that I can touch your brow,
Wait, is it
smell the
is-
sweet
it's-
sweat of your forehead once again.
So Domino
I
reads
keep
it.
myself all aflush just thinking about you. It bears down on me with the strength of 10 men that I need just to get through the day without you.
And so on.
Why is she from the South? So Domino reads it, and then
Why
he
does she have the Colonel Sanders voice?
and he displays it on the main chips display in the comms room, and then he says, "Doctor, there is a return message from Lacia. Could you come to the comms office?"
I think we would all appreciate it if you read it over the comm.
No, we don't need to hear it. Well, wait.
Fine.
My dear Sander.
No, well, we'll be there. Otherwise, we're going to listen to this message for the next 14 years. We really do need to get that speech impediment sorted out of yours, Domino. I'm sure it's a simple vocoder problem. Fix that.
It's a feature, not a flaw.
I think
That's very confident of you to say, Domino.
I'm mistaken for a communications officer to have a stutter. Nonetheless, Captain, are you going to join us for this message?
Yeah.
Sander, it says all the things that you ever wished Lacia would say. It is a beautiful, sincere love letter. Lacia has never spoken to you this forward. But I would like a perception check, please.
This is great, buddy.
Yeah,
She
she's
likes
never.
you.
No, she doesn't. 26.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
A 26 is pretty damn good. You recognize that Lacy has never sent anything like this, but it has her encryption. And you begin staring at the letter and staring at the letter and staring at the letter. And in a few places, your eye catches something that she's never done before, which is the double space. And I know that sounds corny and cheesy, but you kind of catch your eye and you're like, this is different. This doesn't feel correct. And as you begin to study it and study it and study it, you realize that she has created in the body and the text here a very simple code alternating back and forth 1, 3, 2, 4, and so on and so forth, with the first letters spelling out the word Leala House, or the two words Leala House.
All right. Well, we know a few things, thankfully. She's alive for now. And Leala House.
Leola House, what's that?
I assume it's the location where she's being held. On Cranto.
Oh.
Luna,
work,
have you ever
everyone.
heard of this Leala House on Cranto? Haven't you been there?
Can I roll to find out if I know what Leola House is?
Sure. Why not? You're Jet Smith. You know CD places.
Are we in drive space?
You are currently in the
Drift
drift.
space.
Correct.
Okay.
Domino,
What kind of role do you
you're a
want from me,
criminal
Cody?
also, right? You're a criminal also, correct, Domino?
I am criminal.
Oh, I am, yes.
Both of you are criminals.
Luna's a
Whomever is a
bounty
criminal.
hunter.
I'll give it to the bounty hunter also. You guys can give me culture checks.
Well, what about an outlaw? That's basically like a criminal.
Hey, 7.
Is a Sander an outlaw?
Yes, he is.
Give me a roll, buddy.
This
I
is
may or
my
may not have-
first roll of the game.
Shittiest outlaw ever. Doesn't even carry a weapon.
I can add my
Barely.
my envoy improvisation bonus to this.
It's not enough,
At
Jet.
11.
Don't worry about it.
Why do I roll anyways?
That beats my 1.
All of
As you
you
said,
have never
not a
heard of
good
this,
outlaw.
but Luna, you recall this place as because you have gotten into a fight there before when collecting a bounty. It's not. I mean, it's in a seedy place on Cranto. Cranto itself is not particularly seedy. Law does exist on the planet, but this place is like the equivalent of a biker bar. That you're like, oh yeah, I know the place. I've been to the Leala house. It's also a place where young male suitors might find a wonderful evening. And so you have gathered you've gathered a bounty here before.
So it's Jet Bar and Grill.
I am not quite welcome here.
It's Boomer Jacks, basically.
But I believe that the humans would call it a place for where the players go. And you see her kind of like scanning her memory banks, which really just looks like she zones out a little bit. Yes.
All right then. Well, we should fit in quite well then.
Hopefully they're not scanning for us when we arrive.
Yeah, hopefully they're not doing that, but it's better than a bunch of us chasing us through space, right?
Not
And at least we
particularly.
know the message wasn't faked, right?
And we know that Lacy is alive. That's important.
Yeah, this is really good, guys. We almost got burned in the sun, and that's fine. But we're all here. We're almost there. We got this.
It was just a star.
Stars.
Snicked, do you think you and Domino can change all our details of the ship again before we arrive at Cranto? Because
Yeah,
those
sure.
warhounds-
That's something I can totally do. It's not a problem.
Cool, do it.
Water.
Are you thirsty?
Why do you just keep saying water?
I'm I'm talking to my robot that I forgot the name. Scrappy,
If-
bring me some
Scrappy.
water.
Scrap he needs water.
if you're dehydrated, perhaps you should come to the medical bay. We'll give you a
No,
check.
Scrappy has it. He's gonna bring me some water.
At this point, who is driving in command? And like, who's driving? Are you guys at all?
Still Lou.
All totally.
Luna's driving.
Luna's,
It's on autopilot, I think.
Luna's driving.
To Domino, can you maybe or Snicked?
You guys are in the video room. I'm assuming.
Fortunately, Domino can run the entire ship from the comm station. So if you just leave him here, he can just sort of do
He's
everything.
been flying the whole time.
Luna's got a fake controller that isn't plugged in.
It's like in The Simpsons where they stick the steering wheel for Maggie in the front seat.
I feel like she figures it out and heads into the room where everyone else is and says, "That's not cool, Domino," and then heads into her room.
I thought it was for the best.
Whomever
You
is,
look great.
whoever is in the command bay, or I guess from the comm center, Domino, you kind of probably have your back to it as you're staring at all your modules. You hear a thunk, and it felt like it came like right over to the front of the ship.
Like from outside the ship?
Yep.
I turn the ship around. No, do I see anything out of the display window?
You move over to the display port, and you kind of like begin to kind of peek and bend so that you can see a little bit better through the narrow view pane. And you hear thunk kind of right over to the side. You move over once more to look out, and what you see is the bottom half of a torso for a Vescarian. Outside the window, you can kind of see several things floating like debris here, which is not uncommon here in the drift. But you look out to see 30, different chunks and body parts of different Vesk soldiers or captains or whatever you want to call them, people, drifting all about you here in the drift. Why can I not hear you again?
Because he's muted.
Okay, thank God. I was like, why is my...
Is there a ship?
You do not see a ship.
Can you stop in the drift?
You can.
You said that like it's a bad idea.
No, you can. I
Isn't that
didn't
like
say it
stopping on the
anything.
highway?
I said it like a GM.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how the space thing works. Like, some of them work as like a loop where you just continuously go, it pushes you forward. So if it is physically capable of stopping here, and they're all like torn in half and shit.
They're just ripped to shreds.
So, I mean, I know we're going very quickly, but can I see where we're near? Can I like run a system check and see
You're not
what?
going very quickly because half your engines are out.
Right, so we're going very slowly. What systems are we near?
You're in the drift. You're not. You would have to pull out of. I mean, like that's a whole thing that you would have to like do to exit and disembark from. The
Okay.
drift.
I'm gonna like flick the engines down one power level and then put over the comms. Residents of the Rogue Infinity, please come to the comms room.
Okay, I walk over. What's going on?
As you say that, Jet, you see a head bang and bounce off the front viewport.
That.
And that is where we are going to end our session for the evening.
Shoot! That is crazy. It just keeps getting more and more interesting.
I blame Jacob. I don't know what you did, Jacob.
Thank you guys for joining us. Here with some lovely words for our sponsors is the one and only Jacob BUDZ from XP to Level 3. Jacob, go!
Okay, so, guys, we use Fantasy Grounds to play Starfinder. You can also use Fantasy Grounds to play Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder, anything that you want. They have a lot of systems built into that thing, and it's on Steam, and it's really awesome, really cool, lots of fun. One of my favorite features is the fact that you have physical dice, and you can roll them around. Even in outside of the thing, it's really fun. So check out Fantasy Grounds because they're a sponsor. Also, Dungeon Painter Studio. A lot of the maps we make on the show sometimes are on Dungeon Painter Studio, and they're really awesome. They're also on Steam. You can make maps, dungeon maps, world maps, weird what was that thing we did at the very beginning of Starfinder? It was the arena thing. It was really crazy, but there's a lot of stuff you can do with it, and I use it sometimes too, and it's really awesome. So go check out that. And is that all of them? Hey, make sure to check out our Patreon. We have a Patreon where we have a podcast where we have continued the Jade Colossus into playing some really silly games that Michael is running. And we get to be really dirty and gross and talk about butts. So go check that out as well.
All the butts.
All the butts. And you can come hang out in our Discord as well.
It's basically, I think a good elevator pitch for it would be Saber Dice meets Richard Pryor.
I don't know what that is.
Oh my God! I hate
the
you
last
so
few
fucking
episodes were
much.
pretty reckless. I definitely recommend you guys checking it out. Those were my favorite ones to record, I think, so far.
They were. Can we use the word raunchy on Twitch? Does that break terms of service?
You can say dick on Twitch. You can say raunchy.
You can say whatever you want on Twitch.
Thanks, Lauren. Somebody make a soundboard of that. We love your faces. Hang out with us. We're gonna go raid somebody. Michael, give us somebody to raid for all the people in the community here that want to hang out and catch another stream after this one. We will see you guys with the real David Friant next Wednesday. Thanks for watching.
See ya.